Hello, everyone, and welcome to our coverage for E3 2018. Kicking things Hello, off. Everyone, and welcome to our coverage for E3 2018. Whoop, sorry about that. I accidentally had my own Twitch stream on, so I heard myself for a second. No, welcome everybody to our coverage of E3 2018. We're kicking things off with the EA press event. Joining me for this one and most of our coverage is Alise and JT. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, man.
Pretty good. So for those of you in chat, if you are hearing any volume issues, if you could let me know, I'll correct that on the fly. Sometimes doing this can be a little crazy. But just sort of kicking this off, where do you guys want to start? Any predictions for this one?
You mean the games? What games we're going to see?
Yeah, or the whole event.
You mean besides the ones that have already been announced?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm hoping Respawn is going to show that Star Wars game that we know they're working on.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to see a bunch of Anthem. I think that's going to be one of their big highlights on this one. And then, like Alise, I definitely want to see at least one, if not two, Star Wars games.
That'd be cool, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but as we know, EA got into some pretty serious trouble with Battlefront 2. Not just with the loot boxes, but the fact that they've had the Star Wars license for how long now, and they've only managed to put out a couple of Star Wars games.
It's 2012, right?
Yeah, I kind of have a theory that if they don't show a Star Wars game today, they might be in trouble.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If they don't, we do not see like a bunch of Star Wars just dripping from this. They're definitely probably going to get their license pulled. I'm just going to say that.
Dripping from this.
Yes, dripping.
That's funny. I don't know. I don't really know what they're going to do. I feel like if they really, really, really thought that they were going to lose that license, they would have been a little bit more aggressive earlier. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think that Disney would have been poking at them by now, but I don't know. I'm gonna reserve judgment and roll with you guys and watch and see, I guess. I want to see that Star Wars game that they outbid that South Korean company from buying Respawn for. I want to see that game. Yeah. If we're gonna be doing that, because I was really upset when Respawn got bought by EA.
Yeah.
I'll just put that out there.
I'm actually the Motive one, EA Motive. I'm kind of excited about that being more of an open world, that they're at least recruiting people for that game. So
we're actually getting our first look inside the conference. Looks very similar to last year, where they had sort of the stations set up sort of in the middle on backside there, and then we didn't get a shot of the actual stage there, but yeah, it looked real similar. So before we go any further, we are going to make some predictions here about Battle Royale. As I'm sure everybody knows, Battle Royale is the big thing right now, and so here's my rules for this little bet, so to speak. And this is where you guys will come up with your numbers. So,
okay.
Anytime a Battle Royale game is shown, the words Battle Royale said or the words Battle Royale on the screen, each of those counts as one. But, as we know in Call of Duty is doing a Battle Royale. So if Call of Duty comes on stage and they're talking about Battle Royale and they're showing it, that's only one, because it's just that one game, right. if that makes sense. So we'll start with JT. Throughout all of E3, all of these press events that we're about ready to see, how many times...
total.
Yeah,
wow,
how many times are we going to see Battle Royale?
Oh, how many times? Oh, my gosh. I was thinking how many games. Good grief. How many times? Wow. I was going to say 5 for games, but I'm going to say how many times? I'm going to say 15.
15? Okay. How about you, Alise?
I'm going to go high and say 25.
Okay.
We're talking about how many times it's mentioned and or presented, right?
Right.
All told.
Yep.
25.
I underbid, I think.
I actually am going to underbid on that because I've been thinking about 7 here. And it looks like we're getting ready to start here, so I'm going to go ahead and flip over to a full screen mode, and we're going to turn this on. Here we go, guys.
Are we refreshing?
Yep.
Well, there was one Star Wars in the montage.
What is this, 3D now?
Oh, that's cool.
Anthem is the focus.
Well, we knew that, right? Okay, this is cool.
That is
Oh my gosh, how cool is that? So that was Anthem. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But welcome everybody to EA Play. I'm Andrea Renee.
Okay, I'm glad they brought out the pros
me from the gaming community.
instead of the streamers.
I'm kind of a new face
not trying
around
to throw
here.
shade or
so this
nothing,
year,
but
EA wanted to change things up because they know that I'm both a gamer and a fan. So they invited me to come and host the show. And I think this year is going to be a lot of fun, you guys. I hope you're ready because we're about to kick the press conference off. But before we do that, EA Play is more than just the show you're about to watch. Right behind these doors, there is a fan fest outside, and it is huge this year.
Here, real quick, Mox, if you can give me a volume check or Novik. I want us to be 50-50 on this deal.
There are hundreds of community members from all over the world who are going to be capturing, streaming, and getting their first impressions of the games that we're going to be showing off here today. But before we can get to that, we've got some reveals, of course. We're going to kick things off with a look at Battlefield 5 multiplayer. Now, I know
Really?
Trevor Noah gave you the first look. Yeah, we can clap it up.
I kick off with that, huh?
Last month, but we've got some new stuff to show you today.
Is this the first
then
Battle
we're going to
Royale?
move on to FIFA 19, and boy, do they have some big news, you guys. Any World Cup fans? You guys excited?
It's Battlefield.
Yeah, it's going to be
FIFA.
awesome. Then we've got 2 new indie games to share, and then I'm going to come back towards the end of the show with some of my favorite developers to give you guys a nice, meaty look at Anthem. And of course,
I knew
yeah,
it.
we got the
She
woos
said
for
that
Anthem.
at the
I'm
panel.
into it.
She's a big
You
BioWare
want to
fan.
do this with me?
He's like, yes.
Well, wouldn't it be fun, you guys, if I told you all the secrets at once, right?
Yes.
Give
his
him a
girlfriend's
break. He
like,
needs to just
no.
enjoy the show. So without further ado, let's get things started.
Usually they end with a Battlefield. It's interesting they're starting with it.
Well,
I
yes,
agree.
but Anthem is their big hitter, so they would want to close it with Anthem so everybody remembers
like
it.
a bookend, didn't you? Big one. Beginning, big one.
Battlefield's not. I mean, I'm surprised they're leading with it and not FIFA, but maybe that's just me.
Right, it's time to kick this thing off. It's been 2 weeks since the reveal of Battlefield 5. And you know what? It's been exciting, there's been a lot of speculation, and so many brilliant remixes of a reveal trailer. But there's also been lots and lots of questions from the community. And we've heard you want to see more gameplay innovations. You want to know how customization actually works, and you want to know more about our take on the Second World War. So today, we'll show you more gameplay and why this is the deepest and most immersive Battlefield.
That is some nice snow.
They do environments so incredibly great, DICE does.
You will be able to dive and smash through windows to surprise your enemies.
Beautiful.
Where previously,
although I do have to say,
you will now be able to move these weapons around on the battlefield and gain advantages.
Move a weapon.
Gorilla does a really nice job too.
System is back and more impactful than ever. So,
bye-bye house.
Well, you can't really hide from those pesky tanks anymore as they come chasing you for you, as they rip through those buildings.
Oh man, no way!
You will now be
so
able
we're gonna
to
like
customize
we're gonna Fortnite it in here too.
And your
no,
weapons,
not the same.
not only for the gameplay but for the looks, as part of our portrayal
I know everybody
of the
gets
Second World War.
inspiration from others, but
that's just the tip of the iceberg.
There should be a
Battlefield
line.
5. You're going to see a lot more of our new gameplay systems here at EA Play from our community. So let's talk about our single player in War Stories.
Yes, let's do that. So we want to tell you about those untold stories that got us excited to start with on this game. It's about, what you will see is really those moments of human heroism. It is about witnessing the war through the eyes of the men and the women
Everybody
who
got all
shaped
hot
the
and
world
bothered about.
forever. Real and relatable people facing the brutality of war. We started off by an exclusive look at the Nordlys war story over at the Xbox briefing tomorrow.
Thanks, Lasse. Something not to miss tomorrow. So, our launch in October is just the beginning. You will all go on an expanding journey through the Second World War. No loot boxes, no premium pass.
Good
job.
They learn their lesson.
Every day will bring something new. And as part of that journey, after launch, you'll get something I know a lot of you have been asking for.
Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm. It's Royale.
I called it.
We all knew they were going to bring it in for this game. I mean, this is like
Royale reimagined for Battlefield. So we bring those pillars of Battlefield with destruction, team play, vehicles into this new experience. So we will bring you experience that you haven't played before in Battlefield or anywhere else. But more about that later
I highly
this
doubt
year.
that. Oh,
So
I'm
with
sorry, I
that,
said that out loud.
It's time to show you what makes Battlefield so special. It's the unmatched intensity of our multiplayer sandbox, and this time, it's even more epic, fighting across multiple maps and modes. Welcome to your next Battlefield experience, and this is your first look at ground
It's
operations.
not the work part. It's
And
the,
this
oh, this
time,
will be different than everything
even
else.
featuring music.
Trailer time.
It's just a battle royale's a battle royale. If it's with guns and people. Cars.
That's why we were talking earlier. It's race cars. Nothing but race cars.
Bring back Twisted Metal. That's what I say.
Yeah, these games look just so nice.
I agree. See, that's what they're doing, building, like you build fortifications. I like that. The moving the weapons around, that's...
I wonder if they're actually going to have a climbing and vaulting system.
I believe the vaulting is going to be there. I don't know about climbing.
Oh, you can't do that? I've only played Battlefield for like a hot second. Because I'm not really into
I will say they implement air combat.
Louder. Sorry, hopefully that wasn't too loud in my mic.
Ikke en dråpe.
Not a single drop. I love you.
Xbox getting an exclusive first look at the story.
I don't mean to be mean, but good.
Oh, we're jumping into sports ball already.
Quando era criança.
Oh, maybe not. Nope.
Sempre sonhei em tornar-me campeão.
No, it is.
FIFA.
Yep.
É preciso determinação e vontade de vencer.
I mean, yay.
Those ball physics, amazing.
Até mesmo nos momentos mais difíceis, tu tens de continuar a acreditar.
Go FIFA.
Esta
Again,
é a
though, they look
que tu
amazing.
mostras ao mundo. Tu és campeão.
Like, I come from old school Madden games, and looking at this, it's ridiculous how well it will.
Yeah.
I am amazed, though. You know how, like, the NCAA games, and now they're getting sued for putting people's likenesses in there. You don't hear about that with FIFA. So they, like, is it
they
soccer players or okay? So why don't they have one with the NCAA?
NCAA is an amateur athlete. So.
They're not allowed.
Correct. Now, the NCAA is a thing where they can make money as athletes, then that would change.
Or even if they can't collect it themselves, but they could at least maybe pay for their scholarship and room and board, that might be acceptable too. I mean, I don't know, but because not everybody gets that. Do you know what I mean? Like, not everybody gets enough to pay for everything. There are a lot of them that aren't, the walk-on ones especially.
I can see myself in the cup.
That's the UEFA Champions League.
Really?
The pinnacle of club football.
Yes.
Where the world's best clubs compete.
I tell you,
icons of the game
Stanley
like
Cup.
Gerrard
Really?
and Cruyff cemented their legacies.
Yeah, they had a tour
Awesome.
The world's biggest
with
league
when they bring it
joins
in
the
with
world's
the
game.
All-Star game, and my town
And a
hosted
special
it about
thanks
3
to
years
the
ago.
legendary
4
Hans
years
Zimmer
ago.
and LA's own Vince Staples for collaborating with us on the
We're
trailer.
season ticket holders, so I got
And I
to
really
go.
love the trailer because it captures our epic vision for how the Champions League comes to life in FIFA 19. And Lena's going to tell you a little bit more about that.
As Aaron said, the UEFA Champions League is an amazing addition for the game. It's where football's biggest heroes like Ronaldo and Neymar clash every year. And it's the place where champions rise. And you've been asking for this for a long time, and we are thrilled that it's here. And that's why we're bringing the Champions League across the game.
On the bingo card, this is going to be the name that
mode.
Pro Sports
Your club
person.
will chase this trophy
Oh,
in career
cool.
mode.
Yeah,
Alex
that's the
Hunter
Champions League that I was
will
talking
pursue
about.
Champions League
The
glory in your
UEFA.
story
Yeah,
mode,
that's
The
that
Journey,
other one. That's that
and
other game.
in
So they're
FIFA
bringing it
Ultimate
into
Team,
FIFA?
They're bringing it in.
live
Yeah, bringing
and
it in.
authentic
The other
Champions
company, I
League
forget,
content.
lost the
And we'll
contract,
share
so
more
that's
details on
FIFA
that,
now.
along with
Oh,
all our other
man.
Ultimate Team features
That's just
later this
bad.
summer.
It's bad for the game.
And all that's
I'm gonna be
just the
honest.
beginning.
Need
As you
some
know, the heart and
competition to
soul
make
of
them keep it
FIFA
fresh.
is gameplay. And this year, we're giving you the tools to control the pitch in every moment, from your tactical approach to the match to each technical touch. And we know how passionate you are about gameplay, so we've worked hard to shape and refine our vision for FIFA 19 with input from our community. From hands-on tests with beginners to detailed feedback sessions with FIFA pros.
Yeah, they do a lot of
And we're
mocap
going to be
for
sharing
this
a lot
game.
more about gameplay throughout the summer.
I
What I
imagine
can tell
so.
you right now is that the quality bar in gameplay was raised yet again
Do I
this
get some
year.
bonus points for playing
So we
Lucille
look
Ball
forward
this
to
morning on
everybody
Overwatch?
experiencing the game on the hands-on sessions this week. And also, of course, we're
It sucked.
extremely
We
excited
lost.
for everybody to
Bad.
play it when we launch on September 28th. And that's our FIFA 19 news, headlined by the UEFA Champions League. But I just wanted to take a minute to pause and reflect.
You can move on. I'm okay with that.
Standing next to this trophy is a little bit surreal.
Word.
You know, growing up, there's two iconic trophies that every young player dreams of winning.
I mean, to be
And for your
fair,
club,
this is a big
it's
percentage
this
of
one.
EA's,
The pursuit
Like
of
all their
Champions
money.
League glory.
right?
But for your country,
I mean,
it's
but it
this
does help
trophy.
us get those indie games that they said they're going to be talking
World
about.
Yeah, so even though I don't
And with the
necessarily
tournament
play a
starting
lot
in
of
just
FIFA,
5 days,
it
we're excited for the
definitely
world to compete
pays the
for it in
bills.
FIFA 18.
Correct.
As you can
So I
imagine,
get that,
all of
but
us
goodness
on the
gracious.
FIFA team can't wait for the start of the World Cup. And we want to celebrate with FIFA 18 players, which is
Oh,
why
yeah, that's
we've
right.
just
The,
updated
World
the
Cup's
game
going to
with
Russia.
a free World Cup experience on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PS, PC, and Nintendo Switch. But you can take Ronaldo and Portugal to their first World Cup victory. Or you can write your own story with some great nations who didn't qualify this year. Or you can make a crazy dream
Wow,
a reality
that was a
for your
dig,
home
right? The
country
United
like
States,
mine,
right?
Iceland.
What'd they
Who
say?
would
I
have
missed
thought
that.
that a
Or you
nation
could play
of
with
only
maybe a country that didn't
350,000
make it to
people
the World
would
Cup
ever
this year.
qualify?
And the picture of the United States team
And you
was
can
right
feel
on
their
the screen
excitement.
when it
Ouch.
burned.
Okay, this is kind of funny though. I'm watching chat. There's all these people going, "Where's the video games? Can I
Apologies
have
to
the
any
video
England
games
fans in
now?"
the room, that might still sting. And Lena isn't the only one who's excited. FIFA 18 players are loving the World Cup experience so far. But we don't want to stop there. We want to invite everyone to come and join the celebration. So I'm pleased to announce that for a limited time, FIFA 18 complete with the entire World Cup experience is available for a free trial on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and on PC through Origin Access.
That's good.
Yeah, you can download and play the entire game right now for free. Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if they're being just super generous now.
So to kick off the trial, we've got some of the world's biggest creators who are going to be playing live at the end of the show, representing their nations in a little mini World Cup tournament.
They took a major hit this last year in PR.
And this summer we'll bring so much more for FIFA fans. Plenty of FIFA 18 content centered around the World Cup, and we'll bring you all the details on FIFA 19. But in the meantime, let's all enjoy the World Cup. Thank you, and
now we're going to show you an entire match.
Yeah.
Please no.
Please don't.
I was watching some of the stuff on DreamHack. It's pretty amazing. Not necessarily for me, but they're amazing. Will we go indie after this one, guys?
Oh, yeah. Because I don't think, did she mention FIFA was going to be in there? She said Battlefield.
Yeah, she said FIFA was going to be in there.
Okay.
Good morning.
Oh, here's Andrew. Here we go.
EA Sports, FIFA 19. You know, the FIFA community never rests.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud too?
20 million people from 60 countries playing in competitive leagues this year. Well, the FIFA team never rests either, bringing the Champions League and the World Cup and so much other greatness to FIFA this year. We can't wait for you to experience it all. We've got so much to do here today, but I want to welcome you to EA Play. It's our third EA Play and our second one in Hollywood, and we couldn't be more excited to have you with us to share all the games that we have to show you. We've got lots to do, but before we move on, I'd like to share just a couple of things. The greatest disruption to the consumption of entertainment media in the last 5 years is the combination of streaming plus subscription. As consumers, watching movies, watching TV, listening to music, reading books has never been easier.
Here you go, JT.
And we believe that disruption is going to have a profound impact on our industry in the next few years. And so over the last couple of weeks, you will have seen that we announced a new team from Israel has joined Electronic Arts to help our investment to extend our thinking and extend our pioneering into this cloud gaming world. For many people, that's going to mean extending the experiences they already play on our partner platforms. For others, it's going to mean new games and new modalities of play across a whole variety of platforms.
Yeah.
But for
Plus,
everyone,
Origin's
it's
really bad. It goes down all
anywhere,
of the time.
Anytime.
So
this week we've got a tech demo running.
Match up with somebody else.
All of our games
Origin goes down.
in HD
you can't play
from
with
the cloud
else.
to multiple devices that you'll be able to try out for yourselves. Now, it's not quite ready for full market prime time yet, but it is a promise of what we hope to bring you in the future. The second part of that, of course, is subscription. And we started subscription a number of years ago, and many millions of you have signed up and experienced the joy of being able to have full access to a great catalog of games. Today, we're announcing Origin Access Premier. So 3 things you need to know about it. Origin Access Premier will bring you all of our new PC games.
Pretty sure this is already more talking
Madden
than
NFL,
Sony's had
back on the PC
combined
for the first time in over a decade.
3 conferences.
Yeah. I love the dude.
Then
he comes
FIFA
in,
19,
he says like 5 words, and then he stops talking.
Battlefield 5, and of course Anthem. And there'll be many more titles in the years to come. Second, you get access to the Vault, our library of over 100 games from EA and other publishers.
Okay, but get to the point. What's premium about it? I already have Origin Access.
So that's a little later in the year, but if you want to get started right now and experience the benefits and joys of subscription, come in and play a free trial of Origin Access, our base subscription, this weekend. Thank you and have a great show.
They didn't say a price yet.
Yeah, because I'm already paying $4.99. I don't know why. It's for Anthem, which I should drop it. I own all those games.
Now here's a montage of all the stuff you can have.
There's the montage of the cards that you're playing.
I really wish they would do more.
There's Andromeda, there's Titanfall, there's Madden.
Although, I mean, the concept behind it...
Need for Speed.
The concept is good. I mean, take what Steam is doing and higher quality games, you know.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is copy what Xbox is doing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
Hey, everybody. What's up? So I'm here, sitting inside the crowd
we'll talk
at EA
about the
Play,
whole subscription
and I just happened
whatever,
to find
Xbox and Sony
Mr.
after.
Vince Zampella here in the audience from Respawn. What's going on, Vince?
Here we go, here we go.
I'm feeling great. I love this stuff. I love seeing new games.
I'm hoping.
I mean, someone's super excited about that Madden on PC, right? Yeah. So, you guys may have seen that Vince was tweeting yesterday, and there has been a bunch of speculation. So, you want to just get right to it?
Sure. I mean, we're not ready to show all of our stuff yet. We're working on a bunch of stuff. It's amazing.
Come on,
the teams are
Vince.
kicking ass. But we wanted to bring a little tidbit. So we've been working with Lucas on getting the name and kind of the setting for what our Star Wars game is going to be, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Do it.
Yes!
Oh, you guys got any guesses? I bet you the internet is going wild right now.
I hope so. So the Star Wars name is Jedi Fallen Order.
Woo! So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you some idea that you'll be playing a Jedi.
So does that mean I get to like hold a lightsaber?
Yes.
So Vince, you got anything else?
Well, it takes place during the Dark Times.
What does that mean?
To be a little vague here, but when the Jedis are being hunted, so
post
it's
3
gonna be spectacular.
So for all the hardcore nerds out there who want to know like where in the timeline, like between which episodes is it?
Between 3 and 4.
Okay, all right, between 3 and 4. That sounds like a nice time. You got any other tidbits?
No? It's not a nice.
It's a dark time.
It's a dark time.
Bad time. Does that mean it's going to just be all dark and serious?
It's amazing.
All right, so I think people are now anxiously want to know, like, when can we play the game?
It will be holiday of next year, 2019, not this year.
Sorry to dash any hopes.
That's actually faster than I thought.
But now that we know, we can set expectations. We're all going to be amped up. And hopefully we'll hear more from you maybe next year.
Well, I wouldn't.
Well, Vince, it was great to see you. Thanks for stopping by the show today. We do have a little bit more news on Star Wars, so I'm going to toss it over to Dennis.
If they have to push into the next.
Does it say more Star Wars? Oh, Battlefront.
Yep.
Well, there's your 2.
My name is
There's
Dennis.
your 2 Star Wars.
I work at DICE in Stockholm on Star Wars.
But I wouldn't call it
Battlefront
dripping.
2. I'm really happy and excited to be here today, so thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit.
Spent more time on
FIFA.
FIFA.
We launched our game in November of last year, and clearly we didn't get it quite right.
Oh, really?
So instead of coming out of the gate sprinting like we really wanted to, we had to take a step back and make sure that we were delivering the game that our players really wanted. So we decided to completely overhaul our progression system and add a bunch of new character cosmetics for players to collect instead. So from there, we added a new hunt mode inspired by the original Battlefront games that I loved personally, starting with the Ewoks on Endor.
That Ewok hunt thing is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's what they should have done from the beginning.
It turned out to be by far the most popular update of the game, and the team loved building Ewok Hunt. So, as you might know, we're currently in our Han Solo season with content
Ewok Battle Royale,
from the movie coming next week.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It's headlined by the new planet Kessel, a really dangerous place, and it features the return of one of our favorite modes, Extraction. So looking forward a little bit, this summer we will be introducing a new squad system to the game, which will allow you to team up much easier and play with your friends.
Okay.
We're also adding a new Starfighter mode focused around dogfighting with your hero ships. And looking ahead a little bit more, we will also be delivering a new large-scale multiplayer sandbox experience focused around capturing command posts and attacking and taking out capital ships.
Huh.
But that's not all.
Oh.
We know that you have been asking for new heroes, villains, and planets from a certain era that features a very iconic Star Wars conflict. So I'm excited to confirm that Battlefront 2 this year will be going deep into the Clone Wars.
Ooh, nice.
That's cool.
I was going to say that's Geonosis right there.
It's only fitting that we begin on the planet Geonosis, featuring multiple levels, including the largest level we have ever built for Battlefront. So let's talk about the heroes and villains. First, let me introduce
General Grievous is on screen.
Droid, the leader of the most powerful droid army in the galaxy, General Grievous. And yes, he will be going up against my own personal favorite, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi.
General Kenobi!
Yes, mine too.
Finally making his debut in Battlefront after all these years. So, but we're not done. That's not it. They will not come alone. Joining them is the Dark Lord and leader of the Separatist Alliance, Count Dooku, as well as someone to bring balance to the Force, Obi-Wan's unruly Padawan, Anakin Skywalker.
Ooh.
The team at home is extremely excited to be building all of these cool things. EA and DICE are committed to Battlefront. We had a rough start, but I really think that this game has a bright future. Thank you very much for playing the game, providing us with your feedback,
anybody else
talking
find
to
it
us.
very
Together,
interesting that he had to emphasize EA and DICE are committed to Battlefront?
There would be no Battlefront without you.
With all of the rumors that were going around that they were backing off.
And enjoy the rest of E3. Thanks.
I did appreciate that they admitted they were wrong.
That's about as... All right, we're going into indie game mode now. But yeah, that's about, I think, as good of an apology that you'll ever get from them.
Right. Well, it's better than what they've done in the past, so I'll give them that. Oh, Yarny!
This is like, is it Tangled? I'm trying to remember. I've seen this.
Unraveled.
Or Unraveled, yeah. Is this the next Unraveled?
I like Yarny.
Yeah, I didn't even know about this one.
Oh no! Okay, I love him. I think he is so super cute. So
it's going to Alcatraz.
That makes me sad.
I like the concept of this.
Oh, is this the guy?
Hi, it's really good to see you.
Oh, it is.
In Unravel, we used yarn to symbolize love and the bonds between people. In our new game, we tear that bond up right at the start. You lose everything, including your spark.
I don't want to get sad.
But when things are at their darkest, you find hope. And you form a new bond.
Ooh.
And your spark is rekindled. And it leads you off on an adventure.
It's going to be a co-op game, isn't it?
So welcome to
that would be
Unravel
awesome.
2.
Or maybe it's a twin stick.
Oh, but that's the other.
It's a game about fresh starts and second chances. These two little souls who refuse to give up and who build something new and beautiful together. And the whole game is inspired by that spirit of optimism and togetherness. You see, it's all made to be played with two characters. You can play it alone, or you can play it in co-op with a friend. But there's always two characters there, sharing one yarn and working together to get through this adventure. This game, it's quite different from the first. It's both friendlier and more challenging, but above all, it's a lot more playful. And we think it's a worthy successor. And I want to show it to you now, so I brought some help. So please welcome Michael to the stage. He's a producer at Coldwood. And we're going to try to show you a little bit of what I'm talking about how you can play the game in co-op with yourself, essentially.
God, he looks uncomfortable.
Right.
Oh, they're showing dev cheats.
Just saw the dev cheat. That wasn't supposed to be shown.
So when you're playing it by yourself, you can essentially pick up the other character and carry them along through the more fast-paced segments of the game.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we actually tried to include a bit more of those because we figured that since it's a co-op game, we wanted to have more like
leave me alone,
thrill and danger and kind of wow moments.
I thought he was going to jump on him like in Mario.
Places that were like fun and exciting.
So I never played the first one. Was the first one a side-scroller platformer?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of
and then when you get to the more puzzly areas, like this, when you're problem solving,
you have to use
your
yarn and
stuff switch back and forth between the two characters.
That's actually really interesting.
That's how we've essentially designed all the problems and puzzles of the game. That
it's on Origin Access. Not that I'm trying to pimp it or anything, but if you want to try it, it's like $5.
Overcome any
play it on Origin Access.
Well, this weekend it's free, right?
Right. Oh, good call.
This reminds me a lot of Brothers.
So I guess
I'll
jump in at this.
Yes. Yeah.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the dual stick thing.
Yeah, but also that game was.
A little celebratory
This one's
flip.
primarily a platforming puzzle game, but it has a lot of kind of emotional stuff behind it. So did Brothers, but.
And the bird is back.
That one was more of an adventure game, right?
Yeah, it's almost like an RPG kind of thing.
Yeah.
Playing it safely now. Oops. I'll swing. All right.
But for an indie game, this is an amazing game.
And I'll catch you.
Yeah, and you see, like, you use your yarn to, like, help propel you and to get across obstacles and stuff.
You go ahead.
That's kind of its shtick. There's a memory, and you're collecting memories as you go along.
Okay, this is the scary part. Let's see if we can do it. Got it?
Yeah, the one thing in the background, you guys notice in the background, the two kids, they're in the background. I like that. It's kind of seemingly what's going on in the foreground.
Oh, sweet.
Well
done.
You know what, Turkey? I don't think you would really like to eat those things. They'd be really bad.
Okay, I'll go up and distract the grouse. I'll sneak up here.
Might get like a big giant hairball, choke and die.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah.
But I like the turkey is like the obstacle that like you're trying to avoid. I always thought that was interesting. Instead of you fall below here and now you're dead, you actually have like
I'll pull you up.
There you go.
Your wall, your invisible wall. It's the turkey.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff where they go.
Finally. Or can we?
They think through the optics, the art design of, their limits in the game.
So that's a quick little look at Unravel 2. And
Merry Thanksgiving for you, Turkey.
Yeah, I really hope you like it. And before I go,
we were wrong.
just want to send some love to the team back home because working on this game has been a completely amazing team effort on so many levels, and everybody has worked so hard. So there's
really
a bunch of us
turkey,
from here,
I really want to stay
thank
with
you to those, and thank you to everybody back home, and thank you. Love you.
Thank you, crowd.
Thank goodness I'm off the stage now.
Yeah.
It's a great game, though.
Yeah, you already found a friend. That makes me happy.
I think this year is going to be a lot more co-op games, too.
I hope so. I really would like them to do... As someone whose shtick is not PvP games, the last couple of years have just been kind of depressing for me. I really am not a fan. If I sit down and just want to relax, a PvP game is not what I pick up. So, but I love couch co-op. Borderlands 2, one of my favorite things is that your buddies can come in and play with you, and it's not PvP, they join your story. I really wish more games would do that.
I know we're on EA, but Skull and Bones are going to do that. This is for an indie game that looks beautiful and looks very challenging.
Could you imagine, trying to get those, the swings and stuff with the jumping on the thread and all that stuff together?
Yeah. The game looks good.
Thank you, Martin, and the brilliant team at Coldwood. The game is really strong. These guys have done an amazing job, and it's clear that they have a lot of passion, and I can't personally wait to play Unravel 2 with my kids. But what's even more amazing is that we will make Unravel 2 available to everyone today. Yep, you heard that right. You'll be able to take these two Yarnies on their next big adventure starting today. The game is finished, it's out.
Wait, what?
Ooh,
wow.
It's out today.
It's out today.
So thank you, Martin, and thank you to the team at Coldwood.
Good job, EA.
Back in 2015,
that is a good one. Wow.
we started on this journey with the original Unravel to seek out the most creative, independent developers and bring them into our EA Originals
and it's out today,
program.
guys. Play it now.
It's been our way of helping these creators
again,
bring their
just
unique
for a hot
games
second,
to the world and to tell their
gently,
stories.
I guess, maybe.
And last year, if you remember, Joseph Fares was up here on stage representing his team at Hazelight and The Way Out.
Why we gotta try out all of our CEOs to yap around
and you
when
might
we could
even
be getting
remember
developers out
him
here?
from the
I'm
Game
just
Awards
asking.
as well. I think I did. Anyhow, in March, that game caught fire. It's innovative, it's fun, and it's something fresh and new, and you all loved it. We saw over 2 million players in the first 2 weeks. And A Way Out is such a huge success that Joseph and his team are expanding and moving into a new studio.
Really?
So stories like this drive our industry, and it's why we will continue
you talking about
to
the
work
fact
with
they've
independent
sold like 1 million
developers to help
copies or
them
something like
realize their
that?
dreams.
Basically, yeah.
Which leads us to our next EA Originals title, from a little game studio in Berlin called Joe My Games. When I met this team and I saw the game, I was instantly drawn to how personal this story was. It's one that carries a very powerful and important message, and it's unlike anything we have ever done. So please welcome Connie Gepper to the stage from Joe My Games to tell you more about Sea of Solitude.
That sounds familiar.
What? Cornelia?
The name of this game.
Thank you, Patrick. I still remember during the pitch how enthusiastic Patrick was, and that afterwards, like, our whole team, including me, were super excited. It actually feels a little bit the same right now. I'm pretty excited, maybe a little too excited. Thank you. We are Yomai, a small indie game studio from Berlin, and we are developing Sea of Solitude, or SOS as we call it. The whole journey from the very first concept to actually becoming a part of EA Originals is simply amazing. Let me tell you more about our game. When humans get too lonely, they turn into monsters. This is at the core of everything you will see, hear, and hopefully feel while playing SOS. What makes this underlying concept so important and so unique
I missed that
is
first part. She said what turns you into a monster?
Every human being can at least somehow relate to or remember the feeling of being lonely.
The solitude,
case,
the lonely people get when things go bad, turn into monsters and stuff.
I think as an artist, you process your emotional world by letting it out and putting it into your art. I'm still amazed how the concept seems to just float out of me right into the hand and onto the paper. I think this is also why so many people can instantly connect with the game.
I agree with Chad.
Because it's not a made-up story, even though that it takes place in a fantastic setting.
What did they say?
In SOS, we try to show how people experience different kinds of loneliness, but also how outsiders, friends, and families see those who struggle. We achieve all this in playful ways so that players who want to simply enjoy a fantastic experience can do so. But player who wants to look a bit deeper can reveal a whole emotional world beneath it all. Sea of Solitude is about a young woman named Kay who is suffering from such strong loneliness that her inner feeling, the darkness, the anger, the hopelessness, worthlessness turns to the outside and she becomes a monster. The game is about finding out why this happened to her, but also how to turn her back into a human. Ultimately, the goal is to bring all those emotions into balance. Some needs to become bigger, some would be better off a little smaller, but to embrace even your destructive part or your self-doubt in the same way you embrace your joy or your hope. This is what being human is all about. And that's what our game is all about. Thank you.
Is this real?
I like this art style.
I do too. Reminds me of a long night, kind of.
It's empty and cold. The loneliness cuts me and tortures my soul.
Wow.
I'm no child of destiny and no fortune son. I've just chased you so long now. I'm too weak to run.
But the idea that you are the monsters, that's kind of crazy. I like it.
But nothing is new.
I wonder what the goal then is of the story. To not be a monster anymore?
Wow.
It looks good. I like it.
That looks good, definitely.
Yeah, I'm the one.
New NBA Live.
The only one. We are the one. We can shut you down, and we can put
NBA?
you on.
Yeah, it looks like though they're going to incorporate some of the street ball, probably the new 3-on-3 league that plays during the offseason.
Battle Royale.
Be ready. Because we're coming at you with the squad.
8 men enter the court, only one leaves.
Say it how you want. Trust the process. Run as one. Call next. Or be the answer. As long as you hold your course.
Oh, it's on Instagram.
Just remember though, wherever you call home, whatever your
NBA Jam Royale. There you go. He's on fire. No, literally.
I'm the one.
Man.
And this is my squad.
Next game. No?
My name's Shea Kivlin, aka Young Kiv.
Oh,
I'm
Madden
from Seattle, Washington. The only goal of mine is really to win the Madden NFL.
Kiv's been going after that belt since 2016. At some point, he's going to need to get out of
the pro esports Madden League stuff.
It's a big night for Young Kiv. He's been stuck at the quarterfinals.
And here
I
he
look
is now
for
in his first
Madden
championship game, looking to accomplish a goal.
3rd and 4, throws it low. T.Y.
That was a phenomenal read, and Trini's got the lead.
40-19.
We've actually got a Madden expert in the chat, Genobi.
Oh, we have a incredible matchup. It's a rematch. Touchdown, Kev. He throws it high.
I used to play it a lot. I like when they first introduced the create your own player single player version of the game.
Champion.
He's finally done it.
I just can't. Not much anybody who likes them. I just can't play sports games. They're not interesting enough to me.
Okay, baby, how you doing?
My torn
Been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping?
Cool.
Wow, already starting. Okay.
Do you have to pay a bunch of money to be able to get a haircut? Like in the 2K
touchdown celebrations
version of
that's pretty fire.
Basketball.
I like that a lot.
Got paid $10 for a haircut.
This is Young Kiv.
Just asking.
Madden 18, Madden champion. Like, give it up for Young Kiv, y'all. Give it up. Young Kiv, how has it been? You know, your success and your path, you know, to where you're at today.
It's I've always been a competitor. When I was in high school, I was playing baseball. I hurt my arm,
So then I picked up Madden, and at first
That should
I
have
was
been
really
one for the
bad. I was
bingo
getting
card.
blown out online,
Name
but I
that
kept at
esports
it, put
athlete.
more and more time into it. Eventually, I made my first tournament, but I had a big decision. It was the same time as my graduation.
Name that sports star. Do we count that? Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know
So the
what?
key to
EA is
be
the only one
the
really
number
who
one
seems to pimp
player
their sports
in Madden,
stars as
so
much
hurt
as
your
they
arm in
do.
baseball.
That is true.
That's
So
number
this
one.
might be the
Number
end of
two,
that one.
You said you had the decision to go to your graduation or go to the tournament. So, like, what did you do?
I chased that money. I still got my diploma, but I chased that money.
There you go. We're out
Okay,
here
but
chasing
do you
money.
see the dude's pants? Not the ripped
That's awesome.
jeans. I'm
Okay,
talking
now
about the other
past
dude's
few years,
pants.
the past few years,
Them is
how has it been
fly.
for you? I know you had some ups and downs.
Wow.
It's been tough. I've had a lot of devastating losses. I've been so close so many times.
homies.
I made the final on TV and got blown out by all those losses. It made me gain a lot of mental toughness, and that's how I got this belt.
That's awesome. That belt is so amazing. There's a lot of, bling.
The next week,
on
I'm
that
going to
belt
face
for
The
you.
Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, today, EA Play, first look at
Why
the
do we
Madden
have that
19
big
trailer.
giant belt?
Super
I don't
excited.
understand.
It's going to be so fun. It's lit.
I
I
don't
honestly
get
wish I could stay right here and talk to you guys forever,
the
but I'm not going to
champion.
board you guys. We're going to
Champion
go
belt.
out. I'm going to try to take this belt, round 2. So we're out. Have a good day.
We're out.
You've worked your whole life to get to moments like these.
Tecmo Bowl on
the very
Nintendo.
top of the mountain.
It's come a long way.
You battled through the pain and failure. All
8-bit
just to get to
characters
this
now.
place.
Fully fledged
where you've
3D
been
animated
told
people.
Legends are born.
I mean, for a football game, that looks really good.
So you can rise. And you rise so that you can truly see.
Scary good.
I mean,
See that it
Madden
was
has
really
always looked good, I
Never
thought.
about reaching
Oh, yeah.
the end of the road at all.
It's always getting better.
But about all the moments that got you here.
Apparently, they can still never get the gameplay right, though.
Really?
Nobody's told me.
So, you were in their position.
Every year, there's something that's messed up about it.
Oh, yeah. Again, though, you kind of have to shake it off like it still is a game.
Or will you define the moment?
Where do we go now?
Now we're going to bring out Joe Montana to talk about it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nathanius, professional shoutcaster, here alongside Redwood Studios General Manager Michael Martinez.
Redwood
How you doing
Studios,
today?
really?
Super excited to be here.
Yeah. We're going to do this presentation a little bit differently and give you your first look at a brand new mobile game in a live winner-take-all head-to-head match.
No, they said
Michael,
Redwood
why don't you
Studios.
tell us the
Isn't
rules?
that
Winner-take-all
like...
match?
Sure
Is
thing.
that Battle
Isn't that
Objective
Royale?
is straightforward. Destroy the
EA
opponent's
West
base to
or
win.
something like that?
Unit control, super
Yeah.
simple.
Or EA
Just tap
Redwood?
tap the destination,
And then you
unit
have EA
automatically moves
Worldwide,
there.
which is in
The
Vancouver,
most
right?
efficient way to destroy the opponent's base is with this giant nuclear missile in the center of the map.
What?
Control the missile by standing on a majority of the control points. A bar fills up while the missile is possessed. Whoever controls the missile when the bar fills up will fire the missile. Takes 2 missiles to destroy the enemy's base.
Did
and
I
win.
miss something?
That's it.
Sounds
still
great,
football?
Michael. Well, enough talking about
No,
it.
this is not football.
Let's get to this match.
This is a mobile game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome
sorry.
matchup
I,
lined up for you here
I
today.
looked up for a second
Fighting for the
to
blue side
do
of the room. If you
something,
could
and
please give a cheer for one of the most formidable
Suddenly we're
RTS
doing
players
this.
there
Okay.
is. Make some noise for In Control.
Oh, yeah, In Control. He's a cool dude.
Yes.
This guy is a StarCraft caster. Good friend of Total
His
Biscuit.
opponent, fighting for the red side of the room, a competitive mobile gaming phenomenon. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Nick at Night.
I don't know this guy.
Again, EA is the only one who brings these folks out.
That's true.
Now, Mike, it's going to be a real clash of these gaming styles and the
is.
competitive backgrounds that these players have. It should be a great match.
It really is. I
I'm
can't
scared.
Wait.
Competitive
All right, are the
mobile
players
gaming.
ready? Let's get this thing going.
Ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
What does that mean exactly?
Kick this off. Nice little strategy game for the
Yes.
How do you get to be a competitive?
Good genre.
How do you
I'm
get to
very
be
excited
a
for this. The players are
competitive
loading in, and we are ready to
the
kick
match. Here we go.
this off.
playing this new game.
The players' bases have been deployed, and the action begins like any strategy game. Economy will be the focus.
If this was actually out for PC, I'd be kind of into it, but I don't care about mobile games.
Now the infantry is going to come out to hold that top point. Both players, of course, trying to take that position. Nick Knight being able to reach it a little bit first in a strategy game. That flank position that In Control is going from the top side, also very important.
I would like mobile games more if there were some actual,
Let's see if he's able to create a 2-on-1. Is he able to get there? Looks like he's getting there.
Mobile games.
Here comes GDI
like turn-based
mobile
games.
Rip up those infantry.
Yeah, going for the anti-infantry. Like any strategy game, the units that you're going to use when you deploy them will have a huge impact. Your micromanagement of your forces and protecting that economy as well.
Nick and Knight with some attack bikes in the top. There he is.
And In Control placing the turret on the top right side to help cover
the
that
Mass
Rhino
Effect
as
mobile game.
attack bikes move towards the northwest position. We can see that the missile is beginning to ready and firing that. That takes out half your base. The most important objective on the map is to hold those control zones.
Right, and In Control making a lot of progress to that far right side of the map.
He's done a great job of holding that down with the turret, and now he's redeploying his vehicles to the south side, bringing out more infantry to deal with the attack bikes. And as that economy ramps up, of course, we're seeing bigger, more powerful units come out. We have there the drill pod coming in the left side to help flank those
some flamethrowers. Right, absolutely. Again, those are going to tear through those infantry.
Yeah, and In Control brings out his first tank. That's going to be used to try and help push back these smaller forces as he makes his way to the south side. That missile passing halfway now. Both two zones in control of Nick at Night. He will have the missiles. We see it starts to point towards In Control's base.
I bet you probably have to pay to like level up your
around
crap.
To that top corner, able to halt that missile. He does contest the missile, putting it into the yellow position.
Yeah, very important, of course. Blocking the pathing of those units is another big factor for this strategy. Holding those locations is so crucial as In Control begins to secure the northwest spot. Another tank's going to come out from Nick at Night to take it out. But now he's bringing out the Pitbull as well to help lock down that north position.
This missile is very, very close to firing. Let's see what's going to happen.
With another turret, In Control flanks. He takes the top, that missile,
and that
fires.
They're trying to make it all exciting and all
Nick
that.
Nick at Night, one shot away from being knocked out here. As the next one will start to ready up in just a moment's time. In Control is very heavy artillery forces doing a great job at taking control of the map.
I get it, but I want to see the game, not someone else playing
as
the game.
more of Nick and Knight's forces move up towards that north position, those harvesters, of course, very crucial, very important to protect those. As your economy allows you to get these big late game units. The units are going to come out a bit more slowly as you get more of them on the field. But In Control is just spreading his forces out, trying to hold this advantage that he's had so far.
Nick at Night is trying to get in there, but there's a great turret placement from In Control, blocking and just ripping through again.
Yeah, this segment has already gone on way too long.
In Control now moving his tank
towards another drill pod we're seeing with some flame tanks.
Yeah, bringing the flame, of course, those flame guys do amazing damage to the infantry, help to clean that out. Meanwhile, two more tanks coming out.
I mean, people watch streamers not because of the game or how well they play the game, but how interesting it is while they play the game. There's absolutely no personality from either one of these two dudes.
Absolutely. Nick and Night cruising around, thinking about harassing those harvesters, coming around the far side.
I know, but that's my point.
I mean, looks like he's really pressing it.
I don't just want to watch some random esports person. That's not enough for me.
In Control for Nick and Knight, looking to set things back the other way. In Control trying to rally his forces around. He doesn't want to engage with just one or two units. He wants to move all of them together.
Or you need the game callers to be more interesting. And I'm sorry, but these guys are not interesting enough. All they're doing is calling the stuff from the game.
And Nick and
Knight
go
fire
that one off and settle for next
I don't
missile
know this
is
game
gonna
anything
end
else.
it.
Next missile wins. Let's see what happens.
We'll have Control Wolverines, as you pointed out, for In Control coming out to try and deal with these forces.
Right.
But Nick at Night's done a great job.
This is my beef every year that EA does this, something like this for the last 3 years.
Tank on the board.
And it's the worst part of the press
If In Control can get this in position, he's going to do some serious damage.
That missile just passed halfway ready. He's also bringing out his first air unit.
Like they bring the esports crap out.
He's got a lot of range, that big boy, and In Control just needs to hold.
This missile is nearly going to fire.
It can be stolen at any.
Where's it going to go?
You need to choose to watch it.
Got it, Max.
There it is.
Gonna take it. Defeating Nick at Night.
That was epic.
Amazing. What a match. Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
Any thoughts, guys?
I just came to make mammoth tanks, so I've done my job.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was awesome. I saw a little bit of everything right there.
Both got paid a lot to do this.
Let's hear it for Nathaniel. Nick at Night and In Control. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was the worldwide reveal of Command & Conquer Rivals.
Oh, they're adding a CC onto it.
Rivals reimagines the real-time strategy experience for mobile.
Not what
We're
people
giving
want
players
out of a new Command &
complete,
Conquer.
continuous control of their armies in quick, competitive head-to-head matches that are fueled by skill and strategy.
They said, like...
Now, Rivals will be
Command &
coming to
Conquer.
iOS and Android devices,
And
but I'm excited to announce that Android players can play the pre-alpha today. So head to the Google Play Store and search for Command & Conquer Rivals. The studio has been having an absolute blast playing this game, and we can't wait for you to play. Please let us know what you think. Thank you.
Oh. I think they did this last year too, right? They released a whole bunch of games during their press conference. I wonder how you get into that pre-alpha. Just fire it up. No games look like these trailers.
Maybe if it did, it'd be better. I'm gonna bring in my giant rock worm.
No, not the rock worm.
Oh, so she had to like take her mask off to get the angry face?
Yeah.
How about we do the angry face with the thing on? Nobody needs to see it.
Control is power.
Command & Conquer for a new generation.
Power is power.
Now, before we close
So,
the
in other
show
words,
with
the
a
girl,
spectacular
I own the
epic
dude.
anthem,
You
I
go.
wanted to share a few final things. I am blessed to be able to work with some of the most creative people on the planet who come to work every day to create amazing entertainment. And what I can say about all of those teams and what I can say about us is that we are always trying to learn and listen and strive to be better. And so, as you look at the 10 experiences that you're going to see today, and as you play games this week, there's some things we hope come through. First, that at the very core is choice, is that you as players get to choose how you play, what you play, when you play, and what devices you play on. That in making those choices, you feel you are treated fairly, that no one is given an unfair advantage or disadvantage for how they choose to play. That for every moment that you invest, we know that you put so much of your life into the games we make, and that for every moment that you invest, you feel like you are rewarded and you are given value for that investment. And most importantly, that the games are fun, that we move past the grind, and that these are experiences that truly enhance your lives. And so, as we think through all the things that we're trying to do, know that we want to be better, and that we want to make great games. And that as much as we love making games, and as much as you love playing them, there's something that is even greater that we can do together. The power of this community when we come together to do amazing things is profound. Last weekend was the 3rd year of our Play to Give program, where we show the world how the power of play can be a positive force for social impact. Millions of you out there participated in 9 in-game challenges in our games, logging millions of hours in support of Play to Give. And to celebrate that, we contributed a total of $1 million to 3 charities that share our vision for a more inclusive world. A world where representation and equality are not something we strive for, they are the standards. And where bullying and exclusion are not an everyday thread. These 3 organizations, the United Nations He for She, PACE's National Bullying Prevention Center, and Ditch the Label, an anti-bullying organization, all are doing great work, and we're proud to support them through Play to Give. And thank you for your support. Thousands of us at EA and millions of you together doing immeasurable good because we love games. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for the incredible privilege of making games for all of you. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at Anthem.
All right, now we can see what this game's finally about, hopefully.
Exactly.
The gods vanished and left our world in chaos, creating, altering, destroying. The anthem is all that remains.
There's a storm coming. These walls can't protect us forever.
Something is out there. It wants to destroy us all.
There better not be no Reapers all of a sudden pop up. That would be funny.
Ooh, I like that green one.
I do like one. I like the size of the enemies, that's cool.
Yeah,
so it is the speedy one. I saw another YouTuber who was guessing that was like the speed one. The green one.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it heals too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it would have been really funny if that logo came up, Anthem, and then all of a sudden you see N7.
Yeah. Or Reaper. You know, with the Reaper
How
sound.
Cool was
that would be funny.
trailer? You guys have seen it a couple of times, and it's still cool every time I see it. So I know all of you, like me, have had tons of questions about Anthem since last year because we're all BioWare fans. So we're going to do something a little bit different for the rest of the show, and we're going to take a deep dive into Anthem. So I'm going to bring out some members of the BioWare team to chat with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Casey Hudson, Mark Dara, and Kathleen Rutzart.
Just gonna do a big old Q&A.
Looks like it. Yay, I like Mark Dara.
Thanks, guys.
But I would rather you be out here talking about
game to show,
what?
right?
Oh yeah, Dragon Age
It'll
4.
be very exciting.
Okay,
so
stop. I'm
Casey,
sorry.
we're going to go ahead and
I'm
just
done.
jump right in and get started with you. So now, we know that you all started, or Casey, you started your career at BioWare way back in the day, but you took a couple years off. But before you came back, you actually worked on Anthem before you left.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, first of all, it's amazing to be back. It's awesome to be making games for BioWare fans. You know, we have the best fans. So it's been super satisfying to come back to it. And, you know, I just want to be able to continue the legacy of the studio. And that's kind of where it started with Anthem.
Okay, I just want to say the lead writer. I swear to God, she was one of the writers on Andromeda.
We wanted to create a brand new world for people to discover.
I swear.
You know, a whole new world of story and character. But we also wanted to do something that was, you know, more of a dynamic and living world, a game that would change every time you came back and played it. We also wanted to do something where, you know, if you wanted to invite your friends into it, then you could do that as well. So that was really the initial vision of the game, not an MMO, not a multiplayer game with stories sort of bolted on this side, but something new and different, and I think the team has really captured that vision over the years.
Your fans really love the stories from BioWare, but I think we're kind of curious how you're planning to make story work in this shared world.
So a great story for BioWare is really about characters that you can have a connection with, choices you get to make, and feeling like the story is about you. In a lot of multiplayer games, those things get diluted because you're mixing multiplayer and storytelling into the same areas. Now you can build a solution to that, but you have to really build it into the core of the game. And that's what we've tried to do with Anthem. It's what we call our world, my story. So when you're out in the open world, the world is really dangerous and you're focused on your mission. And this is where other players get to play with you. The thing that's really interesting about this, it's unique for Anthem, is that this is a living shared world. So whether there's weather or it's nighttime, what we're experiencing together. Everyone that's playing Anthem at a moment is seeing the same thing. And this is what we mean when we talk about our world. It's a shared world that we all experience together. But then when I finish my mission, I come back to a base like Fort Tarsus. And this is a single-player experience. I turn in my rewards.
How is that
I
not
talk to
what
some
happens in
characters,
MMOs?
I experience the choices of my action. And this is where your story really lives and breathes. And by doing it this way, we're able to combine that impact and agency of a single-player story with the fun of teaming up with your friends to play co-op in combat.
And we're also designing it so that we can add story for years to come. So one of the first things that we hear when, from our community is they want to continue to play in our worlds. When they've finished Mass Effect or Dragon Age, players want more story. And so we've designed Anthem in a way that we can actually add more story for years to come. And it could be anything. A new moment with a character that you've grown to love, or an event in the world that deepens the lore, or an entirely new storyline and plot.
Well, I'm certainly not going to complain about more story. I don't think anybody out there is going to either. So, Kathleen, I wanted to ask you, from a writing perspective, since you are the lead writer, can you speak to what it's like to create a new world like Anthem from the beginning?
Well, what's really exciting for us, and not just the writers, but all of the devs, the designers, the artists, is that we're creating something new and mysterious for players to discover. So at the heart of the premise of Anthem is a world left unfinished by the gods. But the gods left behind their massive tools, and those tools are in constant conflict with this unknowable force called the Anthem of Creation. And the chaos of those things pushing against each other means that the world is constantly being reshaped in new and unpredictable ways.
Yeah, violent storms, mutated creatures, gigantic monsters. It's a dangerous environment that you need to wear a suit of powered armor, a javelin, to be safe in.
Now, something I think a lot of players out there maybe don't stop to think about is just how much work goes into creating a new intellectual property, or IP, as we've been saying. Now, we've seen all these different creatures, and Mark, you mentioned the storms. What's the process of creating a game like from scratch?
Yeah, it's something we've done a few times at BioWare. And really the hardest part is getting started, just kind of getting off the blank page. So what we try to do is we think about the new experiences that we're trying to unlock for players. So what is the fantasy fulfillment? What are the new things you actually get to go and do that are different from what you've played before? So that's where we start. And then once we think about those things, that's the power of creating new IP, especially for games, is that you actually get to build a whole fictional universe that's meant to bring out a certain experience. And then once we do that, then we still need to build all the rest of the stuff, and what unlocks us creatively is to think about principles around art style, tone, and even the technology and the politics of our new world. And then from there, we can actually go and build out every last detail.
Yeah, and one of the unique challenges for Anthem is that it's a world, an experience that's meant to feel alive, like it's happening right now. And so the world is always changing, whether the storms, seasons, and it's a really great concept to write for, because what it means is it gives us the opportunity to drop into the world, almost in real time, a dramatic event that changes the world for everyone. And that could be anything from gameplay to lore.
I mean, all of the moving parts in the dynamic world sound really cool, the way that they sound like they're going to come together. But even though there's obviously a lot going on, it really all comes back to your character. So let's talk about who we're going to be playing as and why we're fighting these crazy beasts.
So you are a freelancer, uniquely skilled to pilot these Javelin exosuits. And you need those suits to survive and fight in this world, because the world will kill you. But on top of that, our ancient rivals, the Dominion, they've discovered a way, they think, to weaponize the Anthem of Creation. And so we need to stop them and protect the free people of Tarsus.
Now, I've heard you call this power armor a couple different things. Is it a suit? Is it a javelin? What's the canon term here?
We call them javelins, and there are 4, and they each have unique abilities. There's the Ranger, and then there's the Colossus, the Interceptor, and finally, the Storm.
Yeah, so each javelin gives you a different way to play the game. But the thing to remember is, like Kathleen said, you're not your suit. You are a freelancer, a pilot, which means you can decide which suit you want to use based on your mood, based on the mission you want to engage in, or the javelins that your friends are using. So really what this allows us to do is we've built the suits to look like they're built from the materials of the world. So they each have their own unique abilities. So let's take a look at the Ranger now. The Ranger is a more generalized suit, able to do a lot of different things, really designed for up-close and personal combat, one-on-one for the most part. The Colossus is heavier, more specialized, but able to really pack in big weapons that let them devastate the battlefield.
Oh, I like that weapon.
I'm just going to say the Storm looks like it's going to be my favorite. I'm sure you guys out there are picking your faves right now, too. So the javelins look awesome, but we're going to take a couple questions right now. So Casey tweeted, some of you may have seen, asking for people out there to send us your questions. And the first one is going to be from @It'sSweetNicole, who asks, as a player who is all about making their character their own, what kind of customization options will be available in Anthem?
Yeah, so we really want players to express themselves, both through customizing the way their javelin plays, through gear and weapons, but also being able to personalize the way that it looks, both through paint jobs as well as changing the actual geometry of the suit itself.
Good
we want
question.
teams to be able to do this as
Important.
well. And because you're going to be using a javelin for a long period of time, we really want you to be able to make it your own.
I'm glad you brought that up, because actually, Jay Legato has
concerned,
a question
however,
connected to customization.
So I guess we never see our face.
How, when,
So all we need to be concerned about is the javelins?
Yeah, so
think
we
the
are
only
going
time
to
is when you're a
have some
single
cosmetic
player, when
advantages
you're out
that
of
you'll
the
be able to
suit
purchase,
back at the,
but you're always going to know what you're going to buy
city.
before you spend any money on it. So no loot boxes, no ability to pay for power. So that means no ability to spend money on gameplay advantage at all within Anthem. But even more important than that, we want to make sure that Anthem is an immersive experience that feels like it's complete from the get-go. So that means
there
a main
we
story,
are.
a big open
There are
world,
going to be
and
loot
an
boxes,
ongoing service
but they're
that
going to
provides
be
new content for a long period of time. New
quantities.
story, new
So
new,
not
new
exactly
experiences
loot
for
boxes,
everyone.
but they're still going to be
Well, I'm glad to
in-game
hear that I can make my
monetization,
javelin
right?
pink. That's really all I wanted to know, I'm going to be honest. All right,
That's what I
Casey,
heard.
we talked earlier about this being a co-op experience. So can you tell me a little bit about how the team
just
gameplay in Anthem is
customization
going to work?
vanity items.
Yeah, it really is about the
But
fun
direct
of
sale,
teaming
basically.
up as a team of superheroes and working together. So you want to get a few people together of different classes. So I think here we're going to see the Colossus, just hammering people on the ground in gameplay. If we can have a look at that. So heavy artillery, being really strong, in melee combat. And then here you've got the Ranger shooting down from above.
the gameplay looks really
and then they're
solid.
using combos and special
I kinda like
abilities
that.
and stuff like that. But what I love is you don't just run around, you're swimming and flying as well.
So it's interesting because the Slate Tones wants to know, how will you balance multiplayer with single-player storytelling?
So Anthem's really built around trying to combine the impact of having your own personal story with the fun of playing with other players. But we really want to make sure that that playing with other people feels like a choice. So for people that want to just experience the story, you're going to be able to do that. Now, going out into an open world like this by yourself is going to be a little bit more challenging than if the team of 4 people. And we've really tried to balance the co-op experience to be fun, even for people that don't normally engage in this kind of thing. So I really hope that everyone at least gives co-op a try.
Confirmed. You can
Okay,
sit down
that's
at
good
a
to know.
bar.
If you want to roll solo, you can, but it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Well, I know you all are on the edges of your seats. How about
Okay, so
we
again,
show a little
I don't think
gameplay?
you see yourself.
Yeah?
I think it goes
You guys
into
want
first
that?
person
All right,
until
so,
you put your
Kathleen,
javelin
think
on.
you're going to set this up for us?
I will.
Yeah, that's about right.
You and your friends have decided to play a mission called Scars and Villainy. The Scars have put together an acid-based super weapon, so you got to take them out. So you start in the Strider, which is like a giant walker, and it's your forward base of operations. You have a conversation with your crew, Halleck, Faye, and Owen, and you'll hear Owen. He's going to talk us through the mission as we experience it here. And yeah, then you just get into your javelin suit and you head out with your friends.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark, Casey, Kathleen, for talking to me about Anthem today. We're going to go ahead and roll the gameplay now. Enjoy, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see how scripted this is.
It'd be very scripted.
BioWare changed their logo too.
Yes, they did.
Freelancer, time to get to work. Faye said these bastards made some kind of acid. They're using it as a weapon. So, find where they're making this garbage and shut it all down.
Okay, that was kind of Titanfall 2-ish right there, that getting in the suit.
I like the purple butterflies. So we're seeing some UI here. It looks pretty minimal. Looks like you have 3 abilities and 2 weapons.
What's the plan here?
Picking up loads of scars nearby. Take a look around the area, but
thanks,
Jarvis. Yeah. See if anybody has switched weapon here. Some pickups on the ground already.
So it looks like you have ammo as well.
Yeah, so
it's like X out of X.
Okay, don't let me forget. I have a couple of comments about
Checking
this
out the scar cam some more.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Look at all the weapons! Oh, and the turrets! Better move quickly.
The freedom of movement is really nice.
Yeah, looks like basically you can play the mission that you want to.
Well, yeah, one of the devs though said that the jetpack does overheat, so it's not unlimited with its. You can't use it forever and ever and ever. There is like essentially a cooldown on it.
So we have a new
I think
yellow.
that came out a couple days ago.
There was a yellow bar at the top that appeared for a second.
There's a shaker relic.
I think that was his shield.
Wait, something's odd. Get a closer look, would you? See those radiant pieces of energy? They're echoes from the Anthem of Creation. Loads of scars nearby. Be careful.
Okay, and I really like the way that they're highlighting those drops so you can see them better. That is really annoying when you're playing a looter.
Yeah.
Some kind of a combo system.
Return them to the relic. You've got to silence it fast.
Yeah, now there's a blue bar up on this guy. Blue and a yellow bar at the top.
Yeah, it almost looked like that was the storm characters, kind of like their mana pool or something.
I'm wondering, under the guns, there's a yellow bar. I'm wondering if that's stamina.
It's gone silent. Disaster
Could be.
averted. Do you think we get a bonus for...
On the Colossus,
Wait,
they have a
something's
shield
happening.
that lasts for so long.
What the hell was that?
I think that was whatever laid all the eggs around here. The sound came from below your position.
It could also be like the ability bar, like in Destiny,
On
where
the
you
plus
can't
side,
use your
this
super
definitely
all the
counts toward
time.
hazard pay.
Right.
But you have to get so
There's a
many
trail of
kills
this
to be able to
acid
power
dump
it up to
leading
use it.
down. Follow
So
it.
I kind of
We
wonder
should
whether or
find the
not that's
source.
it. The yellow bar.
Some of them don't have bars like that one. Either weapons put away or something.
It's actually blinking a little bit, that yellow bar on this on this guy.
Yeah, that might be a
I
super.
wonder if that means that your ultimate's ready or something.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I think it is. It's because it looks like it's all the way full.
Ugly mug.
Oh, come on, show that boss fight.
I know, show that.
How cool was that?
Okay, I don't
I'm
mean
so
to be
hyped,
mean,
you
but I didn't like
guys.
the ending of that. It wasn't even
and that
the
was,
show the
that
boss
was
fight.
actually just
It
a short
was
version of the full
Lead
demo
up
that
to
we
the boss
brought here
fight.
to LA.
Faux
So if you
jump
want to
scare was
come by the
totally-
Anthem Theater here
sorry.
at EA Play, you can check
They
out the
could
game
have done
live.
it slightly different.
So I'm sure the question on everyone's minds, when do we get to play?
So Anthem comes out February 22nd, 2019.
Wow, a date.
On Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and
Good
PC.
job, buddy.
Good
So
job.
mark your calendars,
And a date.
everybody. Fire off your tweets. Thank you so much again to Casey and the entire BioWare team. I know you guys have that awesome theater outside, so I will see you guys there.
All right.
Give it up for Casey Hudson, everybody.
That means PAX South, if they're going to trot it out,
I also
would
want to
be
give
the
a big
PAX
thank you to
before
all of the
release.
developers who showcased their games
Not
today
PAX
and
East.
everybody working hard at their studios back home around the world.
If
Let's
they
give
had
them
put
all
it
a
at the
round
end
of
of
applause.
March, they could have made PAX East, depending on what it is.
Now,
which
some of what you saw today, you guys have to wait to play. But you guys, EA has so much available right now. Now, for those of you keeping score, you can get your free trial of FIFA 18's World
Maybe I'm
Cup
going to
today.
PAX South next
And
year.
Andrew told us about the free trial of Origin Access. Yarny is back with a buddy in Unravel 2, which is also available today. Plus, you can take on your friends in Command & Conquer Rivals starting today as well.
Oh, the mobile game is up too.
A lot of available stuff that's out today. Is anybody ready to go home
They
and
had
download
2 games
anything?
they showed,
No?
and they are out today.
You're like, I just want to go
3.
outside into the
The
fan
mobile
fest.
one is
I
2.
get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Mobile
So
one
I
was,
want to let you guys know to
pre-alpha?
keep your streams going because in just
Yeah,
a few
pre-alpha,
moments, the
so I
FIFA
guess technically
18
it's
World
out,
Cup
but-
live tournament is going to begin. I'm going to head outside and check
I think
out the
it's like a
games,
test of
but I
concept
want to
kinda
thank
thing.
everybody for coming down to EA Play today and watching the press conference, and have a great weekend.
Well, she was a good host. I'm going to give her props. She's an experienced host, video game hoster, so I give him props for that.
Did we get a Marvel-like thing after this little montage? Something else comes out?
Oh, you mean like the super secret ending?
Secret credit?
That would be so freaking cool.
Yeah, probably not.
If you want to participate in the closed alpha for Anthem, email this address now.
Well, I've gone ahead and muted the stream on my end. We'll let this play and see if something else pops up, but I think they're done. I think they're going to do a pre-show that's going to show some stuff, but I think they're done so we can talk about...
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to have to switch.
I see some... What? There's some dudes here, but I'm getting lag. I don't know if anybody else is getting lag.
Well, I think...
Yeah, actually, I refreshed and Twitch stopped it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we will definitely kick this off with our Anthem talk.
We're going to kick it off with the Anthem talk? All right,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Sounds good to me.
So if you guys want to go ahead, let me switch screens here real quick.
Oh, you mean talk about Anthem?
Yeah. I had it.
What do you think?
I have a similar question, kind of like Alise mentioned, with the story. They're saying they want to make it sure so it's easier for people to group up and complete stories. I get that, and they didn't want it to be like an MMO. So you turn in your story later on. Isn't that the very thing you do in MMOs? You group up, complete stuff, and then you come back individually? I mean, that's what they have, like, separate instances for single player in Star Wars Old Republic right now.
I just wonder whether or not what I wrote down when we were watching this kind of related, but maybe a little different perspective is, I mean, SWTOR is still an MMO. I don't think anybody would ever say it's not, right?
Right.
Even though you're individually turning in a quest. There's 2 different directions they could be going with this game, and one is like the Borderlands 2 version, which was an online co-op, but it's not really an MMO.
Right.
Or are they going to go like an MMO? Or even like, Destiny really, in 9 out of 10 ways is an MMO. There's really only 1 or 2 pieces that people could argue that it's not an MMO. Or are they going to go that way? Where, and I think do you turn in quests individually in Destiny, or everybody in your group? I think you do turn in individual quests in that game too. So that's my question. Like, are they going Borderlands 2? Are they going Destiny Division direction?
Well,
that's going to make a difference to me.
Of course, we didn't see any rewards. We didn't see any drops, so we don't know if you actually you can get different gear for your stink, or if the gear is actually because you can move in and out of any suit you want to use. Is the way I understood that, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, if they're going to have like a storage system, again, if you bring up Diablo, right, you can get drops for any of the characters that you're on, right? And you just don't use it, right? I'm pretty sure. I just started playing Diablo 3, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I got shields even though I'm playing the monk, so when I was playing it the other day. So if they have a storage system, you could trade in between, but to me, that's the big thing for me. I really don't. If I want story, story's harder for me in an MMO than it is in a single player game. So when they are saying story, single player, grouping up with your friends, MMO, I'm kind of wanting to see how they're going to make that happen, really. So we'll see.
Yep. And I think that there are almost too many similar things between Anthem and Destiny, because they in this they talked about I forget the exact term they used, but it was the Anthem something, like the spirit or whatever. And
Anthem of Creation, I think they called
Anthem
it.
of Creation.
The Anthem of Creation.
And I'm like, boy, that kind of sounds like the Traveler. So, and it's like, there's this one. It's like the last remaining, again in Anthem, the last remaining city or whatever, and it just, I don't know. It came across so many things were so similar, but going back to the MMO thing, and I never played Guild Wars 2. Have you guys played Guild Wars 2?
Yes.
Tiny bit.
Okay. In Guild Wars 2, do they have the thing where you are in town, you're by yourself, and then when you're out of the town, you're with people? Because that's how Guild Wars 1 was, if I remember correctly.
Currently, right now, I mean, you can actually group up with people, and then or not. And when you're doing your single player stuff, that is kind of in town sort of things. But you can talk to people like wherever kind of stuff. The only thing like with grouping that Guild Wars 2 does really well, if there's like an event boss or something like that pop up, which is the dynamic things they're kind of talking about, you don't actually have to be in a group. It's based on whatever percentage of damage or something you do, and you get rewards based on that. So.
Gotcha. And actually going back to your reward thing real quick, last year at E3, they did show how the loot was going to work for Anthem. Now, whether or not they're going to change it, who knows? But during the reveal last year, they looted a corpse, and then a thing came up on the screen, and it kind of did like a random thing, and then she's like, I got this named gun. Again, incredibly similar to how Destiny was shown. But
Right, but was that like a roll? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't remember the specifics about how the loot was rewarded. I guess I kind of felt like it was more like Borderlands 2, where there's tons of drops and everybody just, it's like
I don't think it was
whoever
a ton
picks
of
it
drops
up.
when they did it last year. I was just being this year we didn't see anything.
Right, no, but I mean that's how Borderlands 2 is, that there's like all of this drops and it's first come first serve, but there's so much that nobody ever really gets mad. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no like ninjaing because there's so much stuff. I was only seeing like a
few things on the ground, so I don't know if it's an auto loot type of thing. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm with you though about the whole. This is very much like Destiny.
I'd have to throw in that's very similar to Warframe also.
Yeah, a lot of people in chat were talking about that too.
Yeah.
Which to me is better. If you're gonna pick Warframe and Destiny, I would rather they go more Warframe than Destiny, because there's a lot of people who were trying to make the next Destiny, and
I think it's kind of neat though, especially with people's limited amount of time to play games and wanting to play multiple games, being able to have one character and then jump into whatever suit you need to do is a nice thing to do, so people can play and jump in whatever type of group they need to be in.
And with Warframe, as opposed to Destiny, I don't know how many people have been playing Destiny lately, but you have to be dedicated to that game, just like old school MMOs almost, to be able to do end game stuff. As opposed to Warframe, there's always like missions at your level. It's grindy, but you can pick it up, run one, come back. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very different to me. I play both games, and Destiny, I feel like I'm missing out if I'm not spending tons of time playing that game. But Warframe, I can play it, take a break for a couple months, come back, and jump in, and I don't feel like I've missed a ton. I don't feel like I'm left behind. Does that make sense?
It seems very group friendly too.
I hope that they go more Warframe just for where I'm at in my life right now, as opposed to Destiny, where I have to be chasing everybody to be able to keep up. So yeah, that's my hope. Or Borderlands 2, where you are bringing in friends, you guys are all doing the story together, or you can do it by yourself. Like, you know, and the game, if they did that same mechanic with Borderlands 2, when you bring in people, the game gets harder. That would be really awesome if they did that in this game, something like that. And I think Diablo does that too, right? Where you can like crank up the difficulty when you have more people and it drops if you have less.
Yeah. Yep.
Wrong about that, Diablo? Yeah. And it kind of looks like, I don't know, we'll have to see, but no Trinity.
Yeah. Well, you can't. I get each suit has its own specialty that they can do. So I guess sort of in a way.
Well, I mean, with Warframe 2, I mean, there's a couple of tanky frames, like Rhino, for those of you who play, is a tanky frame. And you've got speedy frames, and you've got, like, magey frames. But you could bring 4 Rhinos, it's not going to hurt you. You could bring 4 Excaliburs, it's not going to hurt you. As opposed to an MMO, you have to have them. In Destiny, doesn't have any healers, really.
Yeah. I don't know. I love the world. It looks very beautiful. I love the flying aspect and swimming, I guess, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really neat. The only thing I have for me is I don't know enough of the story yet, and it's kind of like one of those things, into the world type of stuff. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing other than we have these javelins. We can now fight outside the world, but it's like I don't know what we're fighting for, what we're trying to do. So where does the game go, you know, as it progresses?
Yeah, I'd say overall we got some questions answered, but still not enough.
Big still question. I'm going to say it. It's kind of an elephant in the room, but so BioWare's like core player base are really single player, story oriented, single player level story oriented people. I think they still need to be, just like you just said, JT, I think they're still going to need to communicate where on that slider this game is falling.
Right. Yeah, we don't really have much story at all on it.
Yeah, and that is if you read people who are huge BioWare fans, who are not into multiplayer games, that is the drum that keeps getting banged over and over and over again. Can I play this by myself? Is it gonna be like Mass Effect's story level? That needs to be answered sooner rather than later, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't lose people, because clearly BioWare is seeing that there's still some angst in the community about that.
Well, and I think that if we go across the board, you know, in far as the game community, I think a lot of people thought, oh, every game has to be multiplayer. Well, I think God of War just proved a single player is a huge hit. Yes. And I think that's where BioWare made some great single player games. I think EA needs to have a great single player game.
But according to them, people don't want it though.
Right.
Which is why they canceled Amy's game.
Right, and I don't understand that. So.
Yeah, I don't either.
So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and that's what BioWare is supposed to be, right? I mean, that's one of the reasons why they acquired them, because they didn't have that, you know, single player. The RPG single player game thing in their toolbox, and now we're taking the one thing that made BioWare special and trying to shove them into another category. I hope that's not the case. Again, if they go down the Borderlands 2 path, I don't think anybody would disagree that that's a single-player game.
Oh, yeah. No, that would be great.
Then they can sort of have a foot in each side. And Warframe is adding single-player story. The Second Dream was good. But prior to that, they really didn't have any story. So they're moving in that direction, which is awesome. But I hope they're going that direction than the Destiny direction. And then they can still have one foot in both, have their cake and eat it too, almost. But, we still don't know where they're going with that, based on what we saw at least today.
Well, any sort of final thoughts on Anthem?
Still a little early to say any more about it. I do think it looks good, though.
Yeah, visually it looks great. I like what they're doing with the gameplay, but yeah, there's a lot of just sort of unanswered questions. But kind of going back to what we were talking about with the lack of single player, I think we should briefly talk about the Star Wars game that was announced, Jedi Fallen Order. Now, given the fact that, as I just said, Amy Hennig's game was canceled because they said that they don't want to do a single-player Star Wars game, so what's this game going to be?
Well, to be fair, according to, again, Jason Schreier from Kotaku, he said that they were a hot mess, too. According to him, that the studio itself was very was in a bad place. The game was struggling or something like that with the development side. So, I mean, it could be a lot of things, but yeah, I'm still salty about that. Anyway, jump in there, JT.
I do like we have a we got a title. I do think seemed, and I knew somebody else suggested, it seemed a little awkward, the kind of announcement, how it was done. I know they kind of like to do and talk to the developer. I would have liked to have seen, at least what we had originally, we had that one screenshot, the little walkout of the one place on Tatooine.
Yeah.
We didn't even get that. I'm glad we got the title. I think that's good. I kind of think that it sounds like it could be really neat. I like the time period. And the fact that we're looking at these fallen Jedi, like what they're being done and being hunted down, I like that idea. I would just one little screenshot, one concept art or something like that. Even the title, phasing up, on the screen. The state, everything goes dark in there in the theater, and it comes up on the screen. That I would have loved that.
I agree. They did that with Amy's game. We had that much at this point in her game. And may I also add to I'm also salty about that whole thing because that was the remnants of the Star Wars 1313 staff was in that studio. So they got cut again working on a Star Wars game. That just made me madder. Okay, anyway, I agree with JT.
The other thing that just sort of popped up into my mind is they confirmed that it's going to be post episode 3, and it seems like there's so much going on in that time frame right now. You've got Rebels, you've got the Solo movie. Even when you go back to video games, Force Unleashed 1 and 2 were also in that time frame, even though that's non-canon and everything now. It's just kind of interesting that they're putting so much into that time frame, and the fact that, again, they already did Force Unleashed 1 and 2, that they're actually wanting to do another game where it's basically maybe a Sith hunting down the Jedi again, kind of thing.
Right.
So,
and even
didn't they say you are a Jedi though?
No, they didn't say who you were.
Oh, I thought they did. Okay, go on.
I didn't think so, but yeah, like Kidley was saying, even that time period, even Battlefront 2, they talked about the expansion they're going to be doing is the Clone War era.
Yeah.
And again, I think just like you said, I know they're so worried about establishing new canon because new games will count as canon. It's just like, why don't they pick a different time period? They don't even have to worry about anything about, and like they could do it like early on or way in the future or a different area, like the I'm trying to think about where they were flying. The unknown regions and stuff like that. So there's a lot of Star Wars universe out there that I think is untapped, and I think it's just weird that they're all wanting to put it in that era.
Yeah.
I just wonder, though, if that's not pushing from, if that's not directives from Disney.
I don't know. In an interview, we talked with Charles Boyd, like, nothing has changed even after Disney bought them in 2012. Like, the way they go through their story and having to get that approved, nothing has changed. Like, they still talk to the same people at LucasArts. There's nobody else or Lucasfilm now that they don't talk to anybody from Disney or any other approval like that. So,
right, but Disney could still be coordinating with LucasArts about they want one message, one time frame, one whatever, for any new projects or anything to tie into the games. I mean, that's possible from marketing perspective or merchandising or something.
Yeah. Well, I think next we'll move on to... so we're basically just going to run through some of the games here. I don't think we're going to talk about the sports games unless you guys really want to.
I'm good.
Sea of
Solitude.
Yeah, the art style on that, very different. The concept, really neat.
I love that stuff. I love it when they do something different. I think that's a strength with the indies. Take again, Cuphead. Loved that art style. Loved them going down a different perspective, even though it was something we'd seen, like the base gameplay is something we'd seen before. Just that little twist was enough to be able to make it different enough to be intriguing. I really hope the indies continue to push that, since we seem to see the AAAs don't seem to really want to go down that very much.
Yeah, from like the... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, somebody in chat said don't ever talk about sports games. That's why I'm making you guys watch soccer right now. So... No, go ahead, JT.
Yeah, from the opening concept art of, or like where it just put on the opening scene there where they get ready to start the game on the Sea of Solitude, I was thinking like, oh, there's a flood kind of thing and you're all alone and so you have to try to survive. And then to come to find out it's basically dealing with your own emotions and stuff of loneliness, and like there's hands in the water and all kinds of crazy stuff. I really dig it. Again, I think EA, giving some spotlight to some indies is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we did. Oh, go on.
No, I was going to say
Kidley.
For me, yeah, just visually the game looked really, really nice. It's going to be interesting to see what they do for the story in that game. And I always like, because even as Alise has said in the past, it seems like there's so many games out there where they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And you look at something like that, and it's like, you know what, that looks different. We don't exactly know what you're doing, but it just looks different. So that's hopefully it'll be something cool.
Right.
We have to see more, though, for me to really be able to comment too much. I mean, I couldn't even tell what kind of a game it was. Was it an adventure game? Is it a turn-based? From that. I mean, the art style is cool, but more. Want to know more.
Yep. I think we'll move on to the game that's out right now, so we can all go play it. Unravel 2.
Oh, it looked amazing. And the fact that they showed such amazing gameplay. And then, by the way, you can play it today. I thought that was great.
Yeah, I always like it when they do that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I know that I had seen an announcement that it was going to be talked about today, but the fact that they had it all ready to go, it's going to be co-op, building on what they already done with the first Unravel, the problem solving with the yarn, a great concept. And the fact that you can play it by yourself or jump in with friends and co-op, it's great.
Yeah, I might check it out. We'll see.
Yeah, I really, and I couldn't tell, but I'm getting the impression it was a couch co-op. Yes.
I think they said.
Did you guys got that too, or no?
Well, he was only by himself. there on the couch. I thought, but
right.
I'm not sure. I wonder if it could be online co-op. I wasn't specific. Good question.
I hope it is. I really, really hope it is. I would like it if we had more games that could be local co-op and online co-op, and you can choose. Playing Diablo 3 with my two boys on Memorial Day was so much fun. The three of us just sitting in that room and playing together, and hey, come back, you're going too far, or we're going to go this way, or hey, I got something, yada yada, or I was handing my controller off to my son so they could do my gearing, because everybody knows Alise hates doing that. I'd go get a drink and hand my controller to my kids. Just a lot of fun. Very, like sitting and watching Netflix for your family, with your family, right? We need more of that, personally, in my opinion. So I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that it's couch co-op and online co-op, or at the very least, just couch co-op, because I think we need more of those.
Well, I think we'll try and wrap this up a little bit. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about for this one?
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
So we only had one mention there, right?
Yeah.
So
was it only one?
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
It's interesting. I really thought, and I thought it was pretty good, but I know we did get quite a bit at the very beginning, but I was almost expecting a little bit more time on the whole Battlefield, a little bit more of it, but
Yeah, I was too.
They barely talked about it, but that begs the question then: how far off is it? It's ready to go.
I think it's this year, isn't it?
I was thinking it was this year.
Pretty sure.
I wonder when they're gonna. Oh, maybe they're keeping it for DICE. Isn't it the DICE?
I know that they're getting some tomorrow with the Xbox. Is going to talk some more about.
Oh, that's right.
Single player story.
Yeah.
Yeah, some more on the campaign. So maybe that's part of it.
But DICE has their own con, right? Like BlizzCon and QuakeCon. Isn't there a DICE one? Or they've got a awards something? I know I'm not making this up.
I'm not aware.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I swear to God there is.
I'm trying to remember what that is, but isn't DICE like a developer conference? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't remember. It was either awards or it was something, but I know DICE has something, and I was just wondering whether or not, if it's awards, then they might not do anything. But I can't. It's eluding me right now what kind of a thing that is. But I know they have something, but I can't remember if it's awards or if it's like a con. Can't remember. All right.
We've also got Gamescom. That's a big one.
Yeah.
It is.
I was really surprised. We didn't hear anything from the Motive Studio. Nothing Plants vs. Zombies. Nothing the open world Star Wars game. I was really surprised.
I just wonder how far off that is. And I wonder how broke. I mean, they're still doing Battlefront, right? Or are we talking about Motive? Motive did the single player, right?
Yeah, they
and
did
DICE
the
is doing the rest of it.
Right.
All right. Are they completely ramped up though? Because they'd have to have more staff than what they had to be able to do a full-fledged game.
Yeah, they're combined. They've moved them to the Vancouver studio. So.
Did they? I missed that.
Yep.
There's a bunch of people at the Vancouver one.
I think the show actually started off pretty strong with the Battlefield, but somebody's mentioned in chat. I think they gave way too much time to the one mobile game. I think they thought that would be kind of cool to have them play that mobile game, but there's way too much time, too long.
I think that would have been better as a pre or a post show.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like they could have done that at the pre-show. And then mentioned it during the regular show. And hey, pre-alpha's open. Hop in, try it. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, that would be kind of a good lead-in that you got something ready to go today, a mobile game, and then go right into your other stuff.
Yeah, because with these pressers, it's all about momentum, and they went to that and it completely killed it for the show.
Yeah, I mean, we were just all sitting here kind of just watching silence.
Because, like I said, I don't know if you guys have seen all. I know Alise has, but I don't know about JT. But Sony, the last 4 years, their pressers have been amazing.
Oh yeah, one right after another, trailers and stuff. Looks amazing, back to back to back.
Yeah, and like I said, last year Microsoft showed 42 games. They just went boom, 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 and it was great.
It's the same problem that EA has had now for 3 years. Is they're so totally trying to jump on that, esports dealy, that we have to have some esports thing in their presser, and it just doesn't work. I want to see games. That's what I'm here for. I don't want to watch an esports match. Save that for something else. A stream, PAX on the floor in their arena that they have there. That would be more appropriate, but not in the middle of the press conference when I want to see games. I mean, they didn't show anything about The Sims. They did it in the pre-game.
That's true.
They didn't show anything about Skate. There's that rumor of whether or not maybe it's not ready, but there wasn't anything but FIFA.
I'm wondering if neither other games are EA's games are set up for Microsoft or even Sony to be shown off.
I hope, because if I were to rate EA's conference right now,
actually,
it wouldn't get an F. But
I was gonna have you guys do that. We'll do that. We'll do it 1 to 10.
Are we doing 1 to 10? Okay, go ahead, Alise.
Right now, I'm giving it a 5.
Okay, so average, straight average.
Yeah, I was really big, hyped for EA. I thought, they've really kind of last couple of years been really down, and so I was like, yes, they're going to reveal some stuff about Star Wars that it's going to be really cool. And they started off great with Battlefield. I thought the lead in, but I got to give it a 5, same as Elise.
And with the 3D Anthem thingy.
Yeah, that 3D, that was awesome. Now that was cool. That's probably what they should have done. Maybe save that for the end almost.
Or the lead into Anthem.
And
the lead into their whole Anthem section.
Yeah, maybe started with the Anthem, follow that up with the 3D thing, go right into Anthem, and end with the Battlefield. I think, I agree with you. Good call.
I will actually go a 4 out of 10, a slightly below average, because I've seen an average conference that's better than this, so.
Well, yeah. I was debating, but since I haven't seen any more, I might revise my score based on what I see.
Yeah, I was going to say, EA's got to hope somebody completely bombs. That's right.
And my other beef, too, before we go, because I'm sure we're going to wrap it up here, but
yeah.
I want to see developers talking about their products.
Yep.
They are the best vanguards for their products. Developers are what get me excited about playing games and buying games. Not esports people, not CEOs or big, poobahs at the publisher. Don't care. Get the developers out there. You remember Ubisoft's conference last year. It got my #1 press conference last year for this, E3 last year. And it was totally the developers coming out there. The Beyond Good and Evil 2 dude, when he started crying, I started crying. The CEO for Ubisoft bringing everybody out on the stage and saying, this is for the developers. We are here. That's who's important. Had all of them come out. EA consistently does not bring out the developers. It might be 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, Respawn. We brought out the CEO. Yeah. He's the only one sitting there. We brought out the creative director, Mark Dara, and, the main boss of BioWare to talk about it. Yes, they brought out the lead writer, but that was it. Can I please see some developers out there pimping their
Right.
game.
They brought out the two
I don't
developers for the indie
understand.
games, but they wouldn't bring them out for the big games. Yeah.
And that was the best 2 segments.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Those were the best 2 segments.
Right. Can we see some developers? They are the best. They are your best resource to get people excited about your product. And EA consistently does not do this. I don't understand it at all.
Right.
I really don't.
And
When
if
you
you're going
talk
to bring
about
out
people,
other people, they need to bring out if you're going to talk sports and bring out other people, bring out a celebrity sports star that everybody knows that's recognizable, or another star to lead off your show and be an announcer like that. That's how you get hype.
Ubisoft again. You've got Alicia Tyler, right? Aisha Tyler, who's done it. She's not doing it this year because she has to direct. She's directing something. She's not doing the press conference this year. But in the past, she was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She would have some, back and forth with each group when they'd come out when she did it. She didn't last year either, right?
Right.
The CEO did it, but year before that, it was awesome. She's talking about she threw down, Eric B. and Rakim when Watch Dogs 2 came out, and it was cute. I really enjoyed seeing, they should have Snoop Dogg come out and host it. That'd have been cool.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I still think it'd be cool. He's on Martha Stewart show with Martha Stewart cooking.
Well, cool. I'm going to throw up the schedule here real quick for anybody who is curious. So, yeah, we're done for today, but tomorrow we have got Microsoft and Bethesda. And then Monday is Ubisoft, PC Gaming, and Sony. And then we'll wrap things up on Tuesday with Nintendo. So
yes,
we're just...
I will be wearing my Bethesda shirt tomorrow. Solidarity. My EA shirt on today.
Yeah, I'm really excited for tomorrow because Bethesda's conference last year was a disaster, in my opinion. Because they did Bethesda Land and they basically showed nothing for 45 minutes. But this year they got a lot of good stuff. Isn't there a rumor that it's going to be 3 hours or something tomorrow night?
I hope not.
So
I can't. My brain will not hang for 3 hours, and I'm press or whatever. I would be shocked because after Pete Hines told me how expensive this stuff is and that he much prefers to do little customer focused stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
This will be interesting.
But yeah, we'll do a pre-show for both Microsoft and Bethesda tomorrow, so we'll get into more about what those conferences are going to be about. But before we wrap that up, or wrap this up, I'll have JT and Alise do some shout-outs. So, Mr. JT, where can everybody find your good stuff at?
Uh-oh. Did we lose JT?
I don't know.
There, you got me?
Oh, wait.
Yay, there you are.
Yeah, when I'm feeling much better, I am streaming, and you can find me at the Blaster Broadcasting Network at twitch.tv /BB_network. And also, I'm a host there at Passionately Casual Podcast, and we stream there at twitch.tv /passionately casual. And of course, you can also find that at passionatelycasual.com.
Yep, and they just did an interview with Musco and Boyd, so make sure you check out that stuff. Did it just delete your link? I thought I fixed that.
Whose? JT's?
Yeah.
Or me?
Chat, can you see JT's link? I don't know. Sometimes I'm bugged and I just can't see it on my side.
Gotcha.
Or
Yeah,
actually,
if you guys head over there on the Twitch, Passionate Casuals Twitch, go to highlights there, and we got a highlight. I edited out some. We had a little technical difficulty going in the beginning. Mox had to reboot a laptop, and then Nightbot was going funky, so got that all down there. Get out the highlight, and then check out the interview. Really good one.
all right. Yeah, they can see it. All right. I just can't see links for some reason. It's weird. And how about you, Alise?
Well, I am on the council on Monday nights on twitch.tv /the council SWOTOR. which I'm on there with Sakari, who is also on there with JT with Passionately Casual, and Kidley. Magic Ace and Bredna. I'm on Twitter at abrown35. And then I'm also on another podcast called VCR Podcast, or Verification Code Required Podcast, and we're a general gaming podcast. We're at Twitter at VCR Podcast. And we also have a Tumblr. It's tumblr.com/blog/VCR Podcast. That's the blog where we post. I do most of the posting on there for kind of written stuff. So that's it, I think, for me.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, everybody, for coming out. We will see everybody again tomorrow for Bethesda and Microsoft. So that should be a lot of fun to do those conferences as well. But, yeah,
big day.
Sorry, what was that?
Big day.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for coming out, and everybody have a fantastic rest of your day or evening, wherever you are in the world, and we will see you guys tomorrow. So thanks for coming out, and we'll see you then.